Hey, Bobbin.
Hi, Bobbin.
There they are. So, like I said, sorry I'm late, and I've actually got some food still to eat, so you may hear me mute my microphone a few times so I can eat.
I think by definition we won't hear you mute it.
Well, you'll hear the fans go missing, so you probably will, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
I suppose. I don't really pay attention to that. But
I do. That's how I know Bobbin is still connected. So this is going to really throw me off.
Yep.
Don't worry, you'll have the accompaniment of the lightning outside my window, probably.
Oh, good.
Can't believe Bobbin is fucking dead.
Can't believe Bobbin had to dispose of a body, and that's why he's late to this game.
Probably Bobbin summoned a storm along with his food.
I still can't believe these people speak the same language as us. What the fuck is up with that?
It's a trade language.
They're so isolated.
It's a little thing called I don't want to care about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's convenient how you suddenly stopped caring about languages as soon as I got tongues.
Just you're casting tongues forever. It's fine.
There we go. Yes, that's how we're doing it.
There will be multiple languages elsewhere. It's just all humans somehow know the same language. I'm sure Alex.
Yes. There's a
I'm sure
reason it's called
there's a
common.
reasonable explanation out there somewhere.
Yeah, the reason it's called common.
Yes. The Earth Society that covered the world.
Listen, it's the same reason why when you play Planescape, all the languages that are common are the same exact fucking language. Who knows? Who cares? Move on.
All right.
I don't think it's quite the same, but okay.
Well,
My cat's tail
I
just
believe-
keeps smacking the microphone and moving it.
I
See,
believe
I don't
this
have
will
any
do
cats.
for today's background music.
In here at the moment, it's great.
She's just getting on my
Those are
lap and
good-
just smacking everything around. Smack, smack, smack.
It's also great because all three of them have their own different way of telling me they want to come in. Like my Lily, claws at the fucking door like she's trying to tear it apart.
Oh, I had a cat like that once.
Oliver will like start shuffling outside the door and shoving his paw under, reaching around.
I also had a cat like that once.
And then Daisy just stands out there meowing really loudly and pathetically.
I have a cat like that now.
No, the great one about Daisy, though, is because she's doing it, I'm pretty sure she's learned this, is that other people will take pity on her and open the door.
All right, so where we last left off, the group of you have made contact with the locals who have mixed but mostly wary reactions to your appearance.
Racist.
And at least one person welcomed you warmly, though, and showed you how to arm and fire a gun to mixed success on all accounts.
Excuse me. It wasn't a mixed success on my part. I'll have you know.
That was a total failure.
Yes. Lake thinks guns are
Yeah, I
stupid.
did pretty great, except I fumbled it at the last second, and I'm fucking angry about that.
Well, maybe you'll have a future chance.
I desire gun.
2 weeks later, still angry.
I am forever angry. Rage runs through my veins.
That's true.
It's a problem, actually. Please help.
But after that, you found out that there was trouble all around the region. Trouble to the south, trouble to the east and the west. But the largest town was to the east. And so you decided to go in that direction in order to also fulfill one of your personal objectives of getting a box made out of the magic-resistant iron they have here.
A special box.
And then on the train, you sampled the local cuisine, which again, for mixed results.
Yes.
And then you met a very nice man, a world traveler, a fellow expatriate such as yourselves in this area, and also a vampire who has unleashed a pack of werewolves upon the unsuspecting people in this train carriage. You were apparently unable to stop them from slaughtering most of the passengers, but you were able to knock most of them out.
We only killed one, and by we, I mean me.
I think we killed 2.
Did we kill
Yeah,
two? Yeah, one of them
stuck in
may have been an
holes.
accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am the only one who killed one directly, and that's what matters.
Right. And as such, you are now in a train that is full of unconscious werewolves, and enough of you rolled high enough to realize that you still have a long night ahead of you. And as soon as these werewolves wake up, and they won't be unconscious forever, they're going to become werewolves again.
Okay, so the lycanthropy is in their blood. What if we just remove all of their blood?
No, that's not how that works, I don't think. You can't live without blood.
Are you a blood scientist?
I mean, I have blood in me. I'm pretty sure I know how some things about blood work.
That doesn't make you an expert.
I
Okay?
mean, you got a pancreas in you. Do you know how that works?
No, I mean, it does stuff.
Okay.
Actually, I got bad news for you.
Hey, for Esmirs, it does stuff, okay?
It's the holy organ. I
Yes,
see.
yes, there you go.
I mean,
I asked our Mind Flayer friend if he has any way of like completely sealing off doors, and so that way we can like drag all the werewolves into one cart, just seal the door behind, like magically seal the door behind them, so that way they can't hurt anybody else.
I mean, there are things called locks.
I mean, yeah, but like werewolves could probably break down a door easily, and that's why I'm.
Not if they don't see the moon.
I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
I don't know. I'm some sort of werewolf expert. Don't see me go and asking why wolf.
Anyway,
Well-
I ask our Mind Flayer friend if there's a way that he can like completely magically seal the door, so that way a werewolf cannot break out of it.
Well, there's a spell that can do that, but I didn't exactly expect this today. So I don't have it ready.
Shit.
well,
okay.
how long does it take to ready a spell?
Actually, let me check. It's might be a
it might be a
ritual
ritual,
spell.
yeah. Like,
Well, while you check that, I've got one solution for one person, and if I'm going to take it to anyone, it's going to be this person who looks like they're... So, with asking assistance from Temper, I'm going to attempt to use Greater Restoration upon this one here that's been afflicted with the curse.
oh yeah, the big boy with the
big
sword.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do for that.
Are there blinds on the windows?
All right. Well, the lycanthropy is explicitly a curse and only a curse, so effects that work on disease don't work on that. But greater restoration,
Does
ominous.
specify one curse.
Yes. Greater restoration is powerful enough to delete curses as well.
Delete curse. Yeah, are there blinds on the windows?
Not really. This is the business class.
Damn. fucking pieces of shit.
Like, there were blinds on the private cars that you came from.
Okay, next question is, would that actually work? Did we roll well enough that that we would know that that would work or not?
Oh yeah, it is time of day and time of month, not physical exposure.
Damn it.
And this is basically, if I say anything about werewolves, you can assume that either Aurelia, Lake, or both of you know it, because you're the ones who rolled really high.
Okay. So
Did I ever
you-
roll to actually know anything about werewolf?
Did you ever find out if that one fucking spell can be cast as a ritual?
Oh, that arcane lock?
Yeah.
No, it is not a ritual spell.
Okay, well then, next plan, I guess.
So I feel like the problem with locking a bunch of werewolves in one room is they would start attacking each other.
Maybe, I don't know.
That would be a possibility, but they
Ah.
don't seem into
Ah, Jesus.
fuck is that?
Sorry, that was the bag that had my dinner in it.
Ah, right. Okay. I wonder what was the start of my years then.
Just gonna start fucking with this paper bag right next to the mic.
Sorry about that.
Not the worst thing I've done on mic.
Yeah, as I was saying, it would be a possibility that the werewolves would attack each other, but the thing is, you have to consider, they didn't attack each other when they were just in the car. They were attacking innocents, and then they came for us. They didn't go for each other at all. And when that one was being controlled by, I think, the other one didn't strike back, didn't retaliate. So I don't think they're hostile to each other. Just anything that's not them.
Yeah, I guess we should lock them in a single cart and hope that they can't break the door down, I guess.
Or exit out the window.
Hmm.
Also, by the looks of these things, they have 2 doors.
Trying to look over my druid shit and seeing if there's anything I can do to help with this.
Yeah, I honestly got nothing myself, so...
Just wave around the fucking moonbeam like an idiot forever.
Well, there is one piece of particular werewolf lore that you guys may or may not know, even with the general knowledge. So you can roll nature again. And this time without any advantage on anyone's part.
I tried.
I tried.
I just thought of
I
something.
hard you still got the same as Topo.
How long do we need to, like, how long until the moon goes away and they won't transform?
The night is still young.
Okay, but like,
That
would
was perfect timing! What the fuck?
would 8 hours be in?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Because
Well,
I can cast suggestion quite a few times.
It's
Oh no,
It's
wait,
a
it's a concentration
spell.
spell. Fuck, why is it a concentration? It doesn't make any sense.
because it's too powerful otherwise. Yeah,
Like, it's a concentration spell that keeps working even if the person, like, leaves and goes far away to do something else and, like, explicitly can... Okay, it doesn't make sense.
Just constantly
Fine.
filling their thoughts with that one word. Egg.
It's not one word. It is a suggestion of 1 or 2 sentences
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that they have to fulfill until they can no longer do so, or until the time runs out.
Shit, I can't
You're thinking
do
of,
wild
like,
stone.
Gesh or whatever.
What's plant growth do? Can I make plant growth happen in a way that that would like keep the doors securely locked and unable for them to open? Maybe is that a thing I can do? Hold on. Choose a point within range. All normal plant. Okay, I don't think there's any normal plants around here, so.
Glad that I am completely useless right now.
I mean, kind of same.
I'm trying to find something, but I literally cannot.
Man, why did Grenache have to get the good roll? If I had gotten that roll, it would have been a 20.
Well, at the very least, that you are aware that silver is able to harm werewolves and other lycanthropes.
But does it stop them from transforming? Because we don't really want to harm. If we want to harm them, we could just fucking execute them right now.
Oh wait. What we could do is, we could put like, I think I have a silvered mace, so I could like, we could lock them in one cart and then like sort of make like block it with the fucking silvered mace, so that way they can't touch the door.
Just cave each and every one of their skulls in with a silver mace.
I've got silvered spear that might work better for that.
I mean, I doubt that the whole mace or spear are made of silver. They could just grab it by the handle, throw it away.
Yeah, that's also fair.
Can we just
Okay,
tie them up
getting-
normally and fucking?
They'll break out
over
as soon as
them
they start
all.
transforming. You know it.
I mean,
Yeah.
will they?
I mean, you saw how strong they were when
That
they
is a
were
worrisome roll.
lashing out at me.
Well, you are aware that werewolves are much stronger than an ordinary human, but they are not necessarily stronger than an extraordinary human.
Yeah, I mean, they're not fucking like Hercules or whatever. Like, if you tie someone up enough, it doesn't matter how fucking strong they are.
True.
Especially if you bind their limbs properly. You know, like.
Hog tie.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just hog tie him. I think we're overthinking this. Let's just hog tie him and move on.
All right. Does
Probably a good
anybody
idea.
have a relevant skill in tying knots? Something like sailor or merchant?
I'm an urchin.
No.
I don't think that helps.
I'm a criminal.
That might.
Have you ever kidnapped anyone?
No, I steal shit.
Well, I am
Damn.
looking for skills and not backgrounds.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Sleight
don't know
of
what that
Or,
is. That possible? Do people have skills that aren't the normal skills?
Well, there is no such thing as just
Right.
rope
Use-
use.
Not anymore,
anymore.
yeah.
I'm asking you to just look for your proficiency list and try and justify to me why your character would be good with knots.
Oh, well,
Okay, go ahead.
you see, when you're restringing an instrument,
okay, how about sleight of hand? Because I'm really
Yeah,
down to go with my hand.
I was gonna say I'm trained in sleight of hand as well. Like,
All right. Well, you don't need a deft touch for this one, so I'm going to say roll sleight of hand with intelligence, and since 2 of you are proficient, the one with the better modifier gets a advantage.
Torpo, that is you for sure.
Okay, so it's my normal sleight of hand roll as well as my intelligence modifier? Or?
As in, instead of dexterity, it is intelligence.
Okay, wow, Wow, that's a huge hit of 1. Okay.
Oh no.
No. I mean, it's 1 less.
I
than my
know. I
dex.
know. That's what I'm saying. It's oh no.
Okay.
You can just roll it normally in advantage and just say subtract
Yeah.
1.
I'll just say yeah. Subtract 1.
I mean, it's probably a good thing you said not to think too hard on this because my
I'm
mind
so
was going. My mind was going. Okay, can you put a silver coin on their heads to stop them from transforming?
No.
Or could you put 2 silver coins on their eyes so they can't see the moon so that they don't change over?
They're crossing the
what
river
buys the
Styx.
passage to the king.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 silver coins on their eyes so when we kill
Hey,
them.
All I'm
Really.
gonna say is, if you want to try it out, you have a captive audience. Captive test subjects, I should say.
That's true.
But yeah, so it's 21.
About 21 instead of 22.
Yeah, 21 instead of 22. Because my dex mod is 5, my intelligence mod is 4.
I mean, for me, it'd just be an upgraded version of Gentle Repose. It's just, rather than coming back from the dead, they just don't come back to being a werewolf. I don't think that's how it works, but, you know.
All right. That's enough to tie up all of the werewolves or / former werewolves in this carriage. So you'll have to move on to the next one. Or move back to the last one, I should say.
Luckily, I'm really skilled at tying knots.
Yes, I mean, I technically had to
make
be
it-
here to help you, so it's an advantage.
And make another roll.
Okay, with advantage?
Yeah.
Okie doke. Once again, subtract 1.
Understood.
Got the magic fingers.
All right, and let me just see here. LM. Huh.
So good at tying knots. Don't ask why.
All right. So, what are you going to do with these still unconscious bodies now that you've tied them all up?
One cart. Put them in one cart, I guess. Put them in this cart and lock the doors. Just
Which
in
cart?
case. The cart that we are currently in. I mean, it doesn't matter which cart, honestly. They're both filled to the brim with werewolves at the moment. But, like, putting
So
them in,
many werewolves.
putting them in one cart
And-
would probably reduce.
And a lot
collateral
of bloody
damage.
bodies.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
too. And we can worry about the bodies later. And by we, I mean whoever owns this train. Just like, hey, Grenache, could you do some heavy lifting? I'm tiny, I can't handle this.
Only if you can make sure that this person gets back consciousness and don't kill them.
I mean, I wasn't.
Yeah, let's just drag bodies into this unconscious bodies
Fucking
into this cart. So.
Kill one werewolf and people think you're a goddamn monster.
No, I don't think you're a monster.
I know, I'm a goblin.
Exactly.
Isn't
Okay.
a goblin a type of monster?
Wow, first off, that's fucked up and racist that you would say that.
Second of all, doesn't that make you the monster too?
I'm not a goblin.
Oh, wait, we weren't gonna
Racist.
move this guy, right? Wasn't he greater restoration to
Yeah.
not being a werewolf anymore?
Yeah, that one is staying.
Ah, okay. Excuse me. All
It's
right.
gonna be really good when he starts freaking out.
So, some more time passes before he comes back to consciousness.
Just gonna chill in here and hide.
Huh. And as you're waiting for it, the door leading towards the front of the train, on your left there, opens. And the conductor woman, who you've spoken to before a couple of times, opens the door, sees the bloody mess and you guys standing amidst it, and screams.
Please, I'm hiding in the booth. I'm fine.
It's quite all right, ma'am. We've contained the threat.
Oh, oh God. Oh God. What? Oh God. And then she
Okay.
throws up.
All right, I'm gonna go
Justifiably.
over there and try to comfort her.
Yeah, someone please go do that.
Yes.
It's all right. It's all right. There was well, I'm not really sure how to explain this, but some of the people on this train were cursed to become.
She jumps away when you touch her. It doesn't seem like she automatically trusts you.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Can I try to convince her to trust me by being, say, persuasive in some fashion? By just being reassuring and friendly and saying, it's all right. We protected everyone we could on this train. There's unfortunately some people were killed before we got here, but we're trying to keep everyone safe. Please.
Well, roll a medicine check.
Okay. Wasn't really what I was expecting, but that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
19. It's fine.
Sure.
She's hyperventilating. She can't keep her eyes on any one subject. You think she's going into some kind of panic attack.
This is the perfect time for suggestion.
Do you have a spell called Calm Emotions or something like that?
Use suggestion.
I do not
I
believe
don't-
I do.
Use suggestion.
Yeah. I mean,
Just for reference, suggestion is one of those spells that leaves no trace of itself behind.
yeah,
Unlike,
that's
for
true.
instance, charm person
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
friends.
I will. I
And just
will.
tell her,
I
like,
will.
please calm down.
I will cast suggestion and just tell her to try to stay calm and listen
Trust
to us.
Yeah. Oh, listen to us is probably better, yes.
Yeah, trust would be a bad word. Yeah.
All right, and I believe that suggestion does not count as a charm.
I believe we said it does because creatures that can't be charmed are immune to the effect.
Well, it doesn't really matter
Hmm.
because of what I rolled.
Okay.
I just wanted to double check. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure enough, there it is. But yeah, she immediately starts slowing her breath down, focusing on you, as you continue to reassure her without using magic.
hmm
Or actually, yeah, that's right. She has magic resistance, so it cancels out anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah, we should be careful about using magic on these people.
Yeah.
But again, the first number I rolled was a 1, so
Nice.
what you gonna do?
Yeah, it works.
She considers Aurelia to be her best friend now.
No,
somebody
no, just
has to.
calm. Damn. Aurelia is an alright person.
I mean, you say that like it's a burn, but Aurelia doesn't expect any of you to treat her like she's your best friend. She's, more like your ruler.
Anyway.
An acquaintance,
Your
really.
employer.
An acquaintance.
Your leader, certainly.
So
Yeah. Do you want me to roll persuasion, or is she receptive enough that I don't have to do that?
she is now calm and receptive enough to simply ask you straight out, what happened here?
All right. It's a little bit complicated to explain because you're probably not familiar with magic of the kind that was employed here, but there was a person or a creature, it could be called, from another continent like us, who is, well, he
Huge asshole.
Yes. He's something called a vampire. I'm not sure if you guys know what those are, but he cursed a number of people to become werewolves, which I'm not sure whether you know what those
Wolfmen.
are. Stop me if you need me to explain anything.
They're wolfmen.
Which causes them to lose control and turn into wolfmen and start attacking other people. So we stopped them. Most of them are all right. Unfortunately, unfortunately, some innocent people died before we got here, and a couple of the cursed people were killed in the fighting. But we know that it's not their fault that they were cursed, so we tried to keep as many of them alive as we could, and we've now have them tied up. And we're waiting until we can, cure all of them.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
locked up.
The one here.
They're tied up and locked in the other compartment right now. So.
Yes.
Also, once again, just as you said, knots. Lily sticks her hands over the booth and just starts making horrible wiggling motions with her fingers.
Okay, that's not helpful. Do you have any questions? I realize this is probably a lot to take in.
Yes. Yes, it is. Is everybody in here dead now?
No. There's one
Aside
guy we
from
managed
you?
to. There's one man we managed to break the curse from, but unfortunately we can't do that a lot. So I point to the to this guy right here. Unfortunately, he's the only one who we've been able to break the curse on at the moment.
Yes. But so hang on,
What about
Karnash
her? And she points to one of the bodies that has been lying in one of the seats.
Dead?
Did we? I assume we checked the bodies whether everyone was dead, right?
You never said.
Oh god damn it! That's one of the things that I just take for granted. Of course, we would check all the
Yeah,
bodies.
we're so used to slaughter.
Well, I don't take
even
it for
think-
granted, so you've got to remind
Okay,
me.
yeah, all right. I go over there and check if she's alive. Is she alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to tie her up like right now.
Bitten.
Well, no, I assume she was one of
But
the people
alive.
who was. Oh, bitten but alive?
Ah,
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
let's-
Does she look like she's in danger of like dying? Because I can cast an emergency cure wounds with my harp.
Well, you've also got Mr. Spare the Dying cantrip over there.
Right.
I mean, nobody's bothered to involve me in any of this. I'm just looking after this guy who's unconscious.
All right. We might need to tie this one up too.
on it, coach.
Yeah, as you go through the human bodies that did not rise as werewolves, you find out that a good half, a little more than that, are still alive. And all of them are fairly deliberately bitten.
Okay, more work for us. Cool. All right, so I'm going to explain to her. Yes, seems that these people have been bitten, which means that the curse has probably passed on to them. So we will have to wait and cure them as well. How many people can Grenache cure per long rest? If he uses all his spell slots on it.
Cure as in remove the curse, or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's once per dawn.
Oh,
It's gonna
You
take
can't like
Jesus.
prepare it multiple times.
It's not even my spell. I only have access to it through temper.
Well, no, you also
Oh.
have remove curse. That's third level spell.
Oh.
But
Oh,
that would
yeah,
take,
okay.
I would need to rest for that.
Yeah, that was my question.
Well, I don't have it down on this list, so I didn't have the answer for you right away.
Okay, but my point is how many spell slots do you have that you could devote to it?
If I had that spell, 2 a day.
Can't you cast it at higher level as well?
Yeah.
Well, he's
Not at the moment.
multi-class, and only
Yeah.
one of those classes is a spell.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in total, using temper, that would be 3 per day.
Okay, that's still not amazing because we have at least like 10 more.
I mean, if you were looking for me to be prepared for this, I don't know what you're expecting.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just trying to figure out how many
How many days it take?
Yes, I'm like
Like a lot of days.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're looking at a week.
Yeah, all
Maybe
right.
2.
That's not amazing. Then again, the full moon, how many days is the full moon going to be out?
3 days.
Okay, so I guess we just need to last that long and like keep them alive and tie it up at night.
What we need are a bunch of muzzles.
I mean, if we were back home, we could presumably find some priest or something who could do this faster, but out here, I doubt there's anyone, and I don't know if Harvey can even learn these spells because they're probably like divine spells only, right?
Probably.
Let me just check because I'm on the right page. Actually, he could.
Oh.
Well, technically.
Oh.
What do you mean by technically?
As in, he needs to have had it in his spell book, and he does not.
Can't
Oh.
Grenache teach it to him?
I don't use a spell book.
Oh. Really? I thought clerics used the spell book.
Nope. Clerics just ask their gods for what spells they need, and then the gods are like, okay.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I'm actually
right.
the only person in the party who uses the spell.
Right. Okay, cool. Well,
And
yeah,
even
'cause
then,
spell books are
it's-
for nerds.
And even then, you don't actually use the spell book. You just page through it, memorize some of them, and ignore the rest.
Basically.
Okay.
Just, oh man, that looks too fucking complicated. Not today.
Anyway. So in total, you have 9 werewolves remaining, and you have 6 living but bitten passengers in the car you're currently in. Now, there is a gestation period, so you don't have to tie them up immediately.
But I wanna.
Right. Okay.
But and it is possible that some of them did not contract lycanthropy,
Right.
but you wouldn't know until
Until they
a month from now.
Right. Okay. So
Oh,
they're
so this is-
probably safe for this month. They're not going to turn like.
Okay, so if this was the last day of the 3-day cycle, then
Was it?
well, if they're not gonna wake up to be
No, but well, he just said there's an incubation period. Is this the last day of the full moon?
This is the first day of the full moon, but
I knew it.
if you are bitten during the full moon, you don't have to worry until the next one.
Okay.
It takes a few days.
So there are currently 9 werewolves still remaining, correct?
Yes, and 6
Okay.
potential werewolves.
6 potential werewolves. Okay, so the potential ones we
Okay.
don't really need to worry about. I guess with these ones, we just have to keep an eye on them for 2 days, tie them up at night.
well.
I mean, the problem is it's not necessarily going to be clear. It's not necessarily clear how cooperative they're going to be. If any of them like refuse, we'd basically have to kidnap them.
Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking triage here. rather than focusing on the ones that've been bitten but haven't turned, if I focus, because how long is this journey going to be now?
Well, I mean, obviously we're not focusing on the ones bitten but haven't turned. They're not a problem.
If you could let me finish, how long is this journey going to be to get to the next town?
The next town is only 3 hours away.
Right. That's saying wrong things.
Sorry,
If
what?
we had the time, I was gonna suggest, in acting on triage, try and remove the curse from the ones we know to be vampires, not vampires, werewolves first. Remove it from them, and then, to be safe, do it on the remaining passengers. Make sure that they are safe.
Yeah, I think we all are already agreed on that point.
The only thing is time. How long are they going to be at the station for, and will they allow us to do so?
Right, that's what I.
There is
just
no
brought up.
way that this train is going to continue after what has happened here. We are all going to be stopped. The police are going to talk to everyone.
Mhm.
As long as I am not disturbed in doing what I can, I'll have no qualms about that.
Yeah, but again, the problem is not so much that it's. I'm sure you're going to be able to cast the spells. The problem is, you can't cast them fast enough. We're going to need to restrain most of these people tomorrow night and the night after. And we need to make sure that we're able to do that, and that they don't run off or whatever. And we don't know how cooperative they're all going to be. So,
Well, we managed to suppress them for this night.
I mean, maybe.
I mean,
It's not unreasonable to say we can do it for the next two.
right. Okay, again, the problem is not the tying them up part. It's like, are they all going to cooperate? Like, we're not. It's going to be kind of tough to literally kidnap all of these people when, again, we've just been told that like the police are going to come and investigate all this. So it's not really a question of physically can we do it. It's a question. It's like a political question now.
We do not have the luxury of babysitting these people for days on end.
But here's the thing:
If
if we
these
don't do
people
it,
caused all of this, then the police would arrest them. They have a big jail.
Right,
Okay,
but the
yes,
problem
so
is that they
that's-
weren't really in control of their faculties when they did it. The curse makes
Yeah, but
them
I mean,
The law doesn't care.
that's fine for right now though, because if they're willing to arrest them, then that solves the immediate problem, and then there's just a long-term problem of getting them off the hook once they're cured. But
I mean, it's also a problem of them.
frankly,
turning
I'd
and
rather these
move.
people go to jail unjustly than be free as werewolves to murder and infect more people.
Cage the
So
dogs.
There is also the thing called protective custody.
right. Yeah, again, this all depends on like how receptive the authorities are to our explanation of all this. Presumably they'll be more receptive once they can actually see it happen, but
Well, we got the next night for them to see it happen for themselves. I guess that'll be.
Speaking of which, it's at about this time that you're. Well, did you tie him up?
No, we didn't tie him up. If
This guy, no.
Grenache managed
And I
to
was
cure him,
supervising the
I
entire
wouldn't.
time.
Yeah, we wouldn't have tied him up. So
Well,
Grenache would have probably swatted me away even if I tried to.
Probably.
Well, it's at this point that he finally fades back into consciousness, sort of shakes his head a bit, looks around, looks down, and then just sort of shouts, "Ah!"
You alright, buddy?
Then.
Doing okay?
You alright?
"Ah!"
So help me, I will cast
I
suggestion on him.
can't tell whether that cough was in character or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fucking cast suggestion on him and
What
tell him
did
to
you
calm
do
the
to
fuck
me?
down.
We
We
didn't
did not do
Calm
anything.
down.
do anything to you. It was
Well, we saved your life.
Well, yeah.
I cannot transform anymore. How did you stop that? There is still there is still the moon in the sky.
Yeah, we cured you.
I indicate to my spear, and you have temper to thank for that.
Then fuck your temper.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's
Sorry,
sensible.
the conductor or whatever, she never actually clarified whether she was familiar with the concept of werewolves. Did she
Well.
say she was?
As you
never
turned
asked.
around and asked for clarification, you told her to stay calm, so all she can really do is just sort of shrug.
Okay.
It doesn't know.
Sorry, you liked being a werewolf then?
Of course, was how I was able to attack all of these people and turn them.
So this was your doing then.
Yes,
So
I am.
I go to
of the-
strike and knock him out.
Yeah.
Don't knock him out yet.
let's not
Don't-
knock
don't-
him out
let's-
because we're getting
Yeah, we're
information
getting
from him. That's
information
very
out of him. Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. Roll the dice here.
Can I
Oh.
try to stop him?
Roll initiative against each other. So yeah, it's a I am of the whomp thump crack against the window and slumps back into his seat.
What the fuck, Grenache?
Let's tie him
What
up.
do you mean, what the fuck? It's because of this thing. Those people need our help.
Yeah, and doing that didn't help anything. It just denied us information. He was
Let's-
trying to. He was literally telling us about why he did it and where he came from and whatever. Like, what?
What, you're gonna believe everything that thing spouts out?
I can decide whether or not to believe it after I hear it.
He sounded like he was from the wild tribes.
Do
Wild-
they make a habit of turning into animals?
Not that anyone has seen before, at least. But there are
Just got-
rumors.
Gonna hop on over
Okay.
here.
Tie him up. Let's tie him up.
Oh, I was gonna break his fingers, but that works too, I guess.
No,
well,
no,
let's
no!
not.
Don't break his fingers. Let's just tie him up.
Fucking baby.
All right, and then once he's securely tied, I will use one of my fucking healy things and heal him 1 hit point so he immediately regains consciousness.
Huh. Aurelia's gonna check her headband of intellect in case it has some curse where it drains the intelligence of the people around her.
We'll roll the sleight of hand check, by the way.
Yeah, okay, I was waiting. Should I roll with
yeah.
advantage? Just roll normal, because...
I'm here. I can help.
Okay. So again, -1. I'm really
Alright,
fucking good at tying knots. Don't worry about it. Don't ask why.
All right, you do it so his hands are tied behind his back, his feet are tied together. And as you tap him for 1 hit point, he blinks back awake, bleary-eyed again. Seems to take a moment to remember what's going on around him.
Morning, Sleeping Beauty.
Then he
So-
looks up at Grenache and grins.
Don't make me do it again.
Yeah,
He's
you're not
tied
gonna
up.
do it
We're
again.
not doing it again.
So, you were saying before we gave you a second concussion within, an hour, which probably caused brain damage.
As if it wasn't already there.
How did you? become a werewolf. Are you even familiar with that term, or do you call it something else?
I am
You
f-
deal with this. I'm gonna watch the others.
I am familiar. The stranger told me all about it when he gave me the gift.
Yeah.
I
Okay. Know who you're talking about. Continue.
I am of the wild tribes, the tribes that never joined the alliance. We do not want to join the alliance, but the alliance they think that because we don't join, that they can just take our land, take our property, our property, take what is beneath it, as if it is theirs and not ours.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
That
Go on.
sounds like a place I'm familiar with. Yes.
Right.
And
Okay.
so-
That does sound unfair.
And so we are striking back. The stranger came to us, came to my tribe, and he told us about the strange magic he brought from the other continents. He said he can help us, so we take his help.
So you figured the most effective way to get your point across was by throwing a giant hissy fit.
We think that when they realize the cost in lives that angering the wild tribes brings, that they will back off.
You realize that if they are big enough to constantly try to strong arm you out of your land, they will not care about a few lost
Okay.
innocents.
You know what? I don't really think we're gonna convince him in a fucking logical
Yeah.
debate here.
Oh no, I'm not
so-
trying to debate him. I'm just talking down to him, really.
All right. Look, that's all well and good, but okay. So the other werewolves on this train with you, are they also from your tribe? Are they also from the wild tribes?
No. They are my victims. They will run rampant in the cities of the Alliance. They will infect even more, kill even more, and they will know that the wild tribes were responsible.
I see.
Yeah, they won't do
Um,
much tied up and locked in another car, bud.
Yeah. Okay. So when
But
did you infect them?
do you think that you can just remove the curse?
Yes,
Like it
actually,
I mean,
we.
yeah, we did
we
from you,
can.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We literally.
Have you looked in a
can't.
mirror?
Smile does falter a bit there, actually.
we
We literally.
we also came from another continent and we brought even more powerful magic. So
Yeah, we literally took the curse away from you. What makes you think we can't just do it again?
No response.
all right.
Now it's my turn to smile.
Checkmate, motherfucker.
When did you hold on? This is important. I want to ask him when did you infect them?
Over the course of the last moon cycle,
And
the
they all
stranger
came.
the stranger told me all about it. How it takes several days for it to first manifest, but that it only does so the first time during a full moon. I had some experience with it myself when I first took in the blood.
So all these people came onto this train with you willingly, or
They did not know. They had business in their alliance city. They did not know that they were my business.
I see. That sort of implies that. I mean,
Are these the
So
only
can you
people
tell me
that
about
you've
this
been able
stranger
to...
a little bit?
Okay.
He is as strange as you. That is all I care
Wow.
to know.
Okay.
A
So are
stranger.
Fucked
these
up to
the
say to
only
me.
are these the only people you've been able to infect? Now, if you tell
Smiles and says nothing.
the now if you tell
Mister,
the
I
truth,
probably has
I might
infected others.
I might.
I am perfectly normal.
Okay, so what do we know about this guy? You know, he's come here from nowhere, crossed the unforgiving sea. He's drifting further and further. Oh, I see. It's all becoming clear to me.
Fuck off.
He's a stranger who has found an even stranger war.
God damn it.
All right. Okay, so this guy's probably infected other people. It seems very unlikely that all of the people he's infected over the course of the last month happened to be on this train together, even if he was deliberately planning on infecting people who had business in the city or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. This whole thing doesn't sound like a problem that we can solve completely by hand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we're going to be able to track down every single person who's infected with this whole thing.
Especially
we can
if
deal with.
more are gonna get infected tonight anyway. in
Actually,
other
you know what?
cities.
I want to cast suggestion on him. Me, personally.
Okay.
I'll cast it and I'll just say, so buddy, why don't you start telling us the truth in everything?
All right, what's your save DC?
18.
All right. And crap, where's his stats?
Yeah, but he has magic resistance.
In the wrong folder.
Oh no.
Or at least I assume he does, unless he loses it by becoming a werewolf or whatever. But probably not.
Oh, that's right. He's also a champion, so he just gets a free reroll too. Oh,
Jesus
no, that's
fucking
worse.
Christ. Yeah, these robes of the Archmage make my spell save DC 18, and it's great.
No, technically he's a high level fighter, so he's got high level fighter abilities, which include just, I didn't like that saving throw. Let me just try that again.
No, that's not how it goes.
Can't believe you have a better spell save DC than I do.
Once again, that's probably because of the robes.
No, yeah, it's definitely because of the robes, but
Yeah. Otherwise, it's 16, but I get the +2.
I wish I had cool robes.
Yeah, but you're not evil enough to wear these ones.
That's true. I'm also not the right
Wizard.
class.
Yeah.
I mean, neither are you, but you're closer.
I'm essentially a wizard.
A wizard with knives.
I'm a wizard, but cooler.
So
All right.
You're a stealth
yep.
wizard.
Will is not on the list. So he does have a bonus, but not enough of one, thanks to your robes, in fact.
Spicy.
All right, well, your suggestion seems reasonable to him. So he starts getting into more details about how this stranger first came to our tribe 9 months ago. That is when he brought his this special blood that allowed some of us to turn into wolves and wolf people. And he showed us how to change our shape at will and how to keep our minds even when we were transformed.
Sounds like some druid shit.
2 months ago, this stranger returned to us and said it was time to strike, and I was chosen. And so I went to a town. I do not remember its name. I do not care about Alliance town names. And I started to go around and bite them in the guise of a wolf. I did not know what was going on. I only struck at night. I only struck at those who are outside of the town. And
So what
then
you're saying is there are more that aren't on this train.
but they felt sick. And so I encouraged as many as I could to go to the big city. And ask the big city doctors what is going on. And that is how I managed to get so many on this train when it was time for the full moon.
Okay, so this
Sounds
will
like
probably only a few back at the town.
Yeah. But
So
even a
that's
few
good,
is
at least.
gonna just do some shit, which is bad.
Well, yeah, of course, but it allows us to at least contemplate containing it a bit more.
Yeah.
Of course, he did also say there are other people at his tribe who are.
And he also said that he doesn't remember what town he did it in, so, like...
Well, that would not be a problem. We literally have 9 other people from that town who can tell us. So
Also, he
True.
specifically convinced the ones who felt sick.
True.
right, but we just have to ask who's been bitten by wolves. Like, it shouldn't be too hard to find the people. Is my point. While it's contained in a particular geographic area, once it gets outside of that, then it becomes like a fucking nightmare. But before that point, we can potentially contain it. But we have to focus on these people first. Oh, the other problem is the people he's bit back at the village are now probably infecting people themselves because it's the full moon. So that's not great. But again, not much we can do about that right now. I think we need to focus on the people here, and then perhaps we can go deal with that next.
Alright. Well... You're a real piece of shit.
Is it weird that I want to hurt him?
No.
Please
Saying
But
don't.
you're not allowed to, though.
Why?
Because...
Because it's gross. Just,
Because
Yeah.
Aurelia would cause a hissy fit about it otherwise.
I mean, so would I. I kind of don't want you hurting people who are obviously restrained to kill.
yeah, now if you can convince him to kill himself, that's a different story.
First of
Just wanted
all,
to break
fuck
some
you.
fingers and maybe a hand.
No.
Okay.
No. No waterboarding, please.
I'm not trying to get information at this point. It's just
Okay, that's still no. You're not torturing for fun either, okay? Just no.
okay. Fucking whatever, Dad.
Remember to eat your vegetables too, young lady.
Can't tell me what to do. No, I can tell you what to do.
Excuse me, but I will need to go tell the rest of this staff what has happened, and go inform the engineer.
Good call.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, the conductor, still under the influence of the calming suggestion, gives
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should
polite
go
bow
with
and-
her.
heads forward into the next car.
Hold on. I just want to suggest maybe Aurelia should volunteer to go
Hey.
with her to help explain.
Suggest.
It's fine if we don't roleplay that or whatever, but I just feel like maybe that would be helpful. Or do you specifically want us to stay together? I don't know.
At this point, it may be better if a stranger does not try to explain everything that has happened.
I mean, I suppose.
You know what? Yeah, that might be a bit much, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I finally found what I was looking for, a place where I can be without remorse.
Oh my god, please stop.
Okay.
I'm dying.
No. Just no.
Well, okay. I guess a stranger.
To be fair, it's a good song, but still.
Yes.
It is a really good song.
Just remind me what the name is. I'm not
A
just.
stranger I remain.
A stranger I remain. is the
It's
name
from
of
Metal
the
Gear
song.
Rising.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
All right.
boss who Doctor feels the need to point out that her boobs are real.
Yes. Doctor, why do you need to fucking tell me that? Please, for the love of God, I don't care.
Doctor, I'm married. Jesus.
Doctor, I have a son.
All right. Well,
Doctor, I don't need to take a dupe.
so the remaining 2.5 hours of the train ride are relatively uneventful. You just sort of babysit over the cured werewolf who has been tied up, along with the bunch of still tied up werewolves, hog-tied werewolves in the one carriage. And as Grenache, as you walk through the rear carriage here and take in the gruesome.
Well, I would try not to walk in there because it is supposed to be locked, but
Well, at the same time, it's also full of bodies that you should probably check.
fair. I question
And-
with the others if I should go in and check just to make sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If we're missing bodies in here, then we're missing bodies in there, too, for sure.
All right, then.
Well, that's actually the thing, is that when you go in there and you carefully walk between the werewolves that are in various states of waking up and transforming back and expressing various amounts of confusion and rage as the transformation happens, you do notice that none of the passengers who didn't turn in this car are alive.
So all of them in this cart are gone.
Yes. All of the passengers who did not turn into werewolves in the rear car are dead. Which means that only the one alpha werewolf, only the wild tribe werewolf, was in control enough to hold back.
Okay, so that's good news. I guess they're just going to be murdering people as opposed to turning them into other werewolves. So, plus, technically,
It means it won't spread, I guess.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
I should
still not
inform some people to
great.
pack silver bullets or something.
Still be an idea to contain them. At least until I can help.
They do have guns here.
Yeah, exactly. Silver bullets.
Hmm. Do we get enough rest to regain our? Well, probably not. If it's only a couple hours.
You get a short rest.
Okay.
Okay, well, that does nothing for me.
All right, and then you pull into the city of Lakeview. Now, the first thing that strikes you as you approach this town in the middle of the night is that the clear day outside, the empty desert sky, begins to be obscured as a sort of fog rolls in, or rather, you roll into the fog as you approach the glowing lights of the distant city. And then you notice the smell. It's a little bit of sewage, but not just sewage. It's also an odd chemical stink that you can't quite place, that none of you have quite experienced before,
Oh,
Gross.
unless you've spent a lot of time in alchemical labs, of course.
Why does it smell
No.
like the
absolutely
Hudson here?
not.
And the smell seems to roll in with the fog. None of you are environmental scientist exactly, but you get the feeling that the two are connected somehow. Especially as the fog billows away just a bit for you to catch a glimpse of the buildings beyond, and you notice that chimneys line every roof, and the rooftops stretch out across a wide valley. And every one of those rooftops has a chimney, and every one of those chimneys is belching forth black smoke. Rises above the level of the fog, but somehow you get the feeling that it's also settling beneath it.
This seems healthy.
I
Yes.
don't know about healthy. It looks like are those homes.
I look at Lily and I go, I think we finally found a place that sucks worse than no car.
Yeah, somehow it smells almost
Well,
worse.
okay, hold on. Let's not jump to conclusions. The fact that it smells slightly worse than Okar.
I said
slightly,
almost worse.
I mean, they have smoke and fire inside the. Are those actually houses? I'm not sure, but there's smoke and fire within them. How can it be safe to live like that?
Dude, you're not so backwards that you haven't had a fire inside your hut.
Yeah.
Fucking hick.
Yeah.
Just-
I know how much smoke that builds up if you don't have proper ventilation.
Right, which they obviously do. That's
Yeah.
why there are plumes of smoke coming out of
I'm pretty
the
sure we've seen some
chimneys.
sort of fireplace in the past.
I know. It's a rich person thing, but yes, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, the weird thing here is,
It's the amount of it.
how can... Okay.
Yes, but you do see a lot of lights in windows that are rather squared off and perfectly aligned with each other. Some of the larger buildings, just sort of planted in the distance, they have fewer windows. Possibly might not be homes. But then there are the ones that are just sort of stacked up on top of each other, like they were running out of room.
It's called being efficient.
And you have seen tall buildings before, but usually only in wealthy districts. And in the poorer districts, when houses build up, they tend to fall over. But here they all seem well constructed from one end of the city to the other, at least as far as you can see through this fog. And you can see a bit further than your eyes than your eyes would normally allow, since you can see squares of light even further beyond where the fog limits your vision.
You know what's still better than Okar? Because at least nobody's tried to take over the world and then die doing so yet. That's the
True.
front gate.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we've been here for almost 3 whole minutes and nothing weird has happened, so yes, better than Okar.
Are we counting the trip on the train or no?
No.
Fair enough. Then yeah, nothing as weird has happened.
Just hold up a sign that says "Keep Okar Weird."
Eventually, the train's brakes screech it to a halt, and you find yourself lined up with the platform similar to the one where you had left, but this one is much bigger, much nicer. There are actual structures built onto the platform itself. It seems to extend further out, and there are lights everywhere. And you have seen this sort of thing before, but it's usually only in Okar. And that's because they have enough wizards to use continual flame enough to fill up a bunch of lampposts. Obviously, that's not an option here. So you have to wonder how they're lighting their lights in this town.
has one
Some
of the,
sort of bullshit, I'm sure, at this
has
point.
one of the nice people who rode the train with us come with us? Because if so, Lake would like ask them like, how do you keep?
Are
the
we not
things-
still on the train?
I'd imagine we are.
Yeah, you're currently just looking at the platform through the windows on the
okay.
train.
I'll ask somebody like if they're not completely traumatized yet. Like, how do you keep those lights like that without magic?
Actually, the only person on the carriage you're currently on is the
But not
Wild
even
Tribes guy.
not even like one of the infected people.
You've stabilized them, but they are still unconscious.
Okay.
They were not beaten unconscious, they were mauled.
Okay.
They need
So they are-
treatment.
They are staying down
Okay.
for the
well
time
then.
being.
Well then, never mind. I will not ask this
Just
man.
start poking one of the bodies, like,
Yeah,
hey, hey.
and those that have returned to any semblance of consciousness are not in a state to
Yeah.
make
Yeah,
small
yeah.
talk.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fine, that's what suggestion is for.
I'm not. No, I'm not using. I'm not gonna have one of you because I don't have suggestion anymore. But like, I'm not gonna have one of you use suggestion so I can be like, hey, how do you get the lights to work?
Yeah.
So the conductor comes back into the carriage as the after the train screeches to a halt, and she turns to you and says, "Please remain here until the police have arrived. I will go contact them now."
Okay.
Should I, you do that.
All right.
As soon as she leaves, I like does mutter "fuck the police" though.
I'm gonna fucking... I need to hide from the police.
Man, you guys don't even know what police means.
Oh, fair enough. But I will say 100% that Lake would say fuck the police.
I mean, can we confer from the conversation that basically they're kind of enforcers of some kind?
Like they're like the militia, yeah. Fancy police.
Like, is
Look,
that something
all
we
I'm
can
saying
infer
is-
from the conversation?
Well, yeah,
Maybe Grenache...
you have inferred that she is referring to the city guard force, but you're not familiar with the specific word she used.
I feel like I
fuck
should
the city
hide.
guard.
Saying I feel...
Okay.
All right, and
I mean, you guys do you.
Just, is there anywhere I can hide? Look, Grenache, I stick out more than you do, okay?
How?
so within about 15 minutes, you see a bunch of people in odd uniforms that don't seem to have very much armor on them.
Weirdos.
A lot of them are carrying long arms, but others are seem to be shorter versions of those hand cannons on their belts.
Hmm.
Once again, Lily thinks this is the coolest shit. Not the cops, just the guns.
And they arrive in force. There's at least a good dozen of them that you can see just on the platform. And the conductor is talking to them, gesturing towards the carriage and the one behind you.
Yeah, don't go back there. That's bad news.
And they're gonna have to.
I mean, yes, but like maybe wait until morning.
I mean, I'm probably going to be in front of the door making sure that they don't go in to keep them safe, rather.
This is a good idea. Keep on doing that.
All right. Well, eventually, one of the what you presume to be a ranking officer, because his outfit is a bit more fancy than the others, comes up to your carriage, opens a door along the side that you that doesn't really seem to lock. And he comes in. He looks around, takes each of you in turn, including the man who has had his wrists and legs bound on the seat. Finally, he says, "What the fuck happened here?"
A hot goddamn mess.
So some people turned into wolfmen.
Okay, hold on, please.
It was
let
the
it roll,
wild
yeah.
tribes and me. I was a werewolf until very short time ago. And he continues, because you cast suggestion on him and said to tell everything.
Exactly.
Oh, that's right. And it lasts
I
8 hours.
mean,
He's confessing.
Nice.
Fair enough. Yeah, it does last 8 hours. Well, I never dismissed it.
Yeah, I never broke the concentration.
Excellent.
I could have asked him how to the lights work. God damn it. Oh well.
He wouldn't have known.
Oh, no, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the officer, realizing what's happening, quickly pulls out a pad of paper and what appears to be some sort of writing implement and starts scribbling furiously. It's actually kind of fascinating. You've never seen that many pages just on a small handheld pad like that, and he just seems to be tearing through them like they're worthless.
Okay, but Lily's just doing finger guns at Lake this entire time.
They're so stupid. Why are you so obsessed with those? They're so dumb.
No, it's because I'm a genius, that's why.
No, I'm just fairly certain the guns are dumb.
It's because you're lame. Lake, I thought you were cool, but I guess you're not.
You never thought I was cool. Don't lie to me.
I never-
You
that
son
is-
of a bitch.
You can't prove that, but okay.
All right, and so yeah, once the wild tribesman finishes his confession, the police officer turns to the rest of you and says, "So, let's see. You fought a bunch of werewolves,
Mm-hmm.
which are people that turn into wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfmen, but yes.
They can also turn into wolves.
And despite being under attack, you held your blows and you managed to knock them out.
Yes.
Only because
And-
they complain.
And you managed to harm them entirely in the first place because you have silver or magic.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
May
I know it
see-
sounds stupid, but
May-
okay.
May I see what you used?
Lily just takes out
Sure.
her weapon and just says, Prodador's light.
Yeah, really, it just takes out hers and mentally makes it burst into flame, I guess.
You do have a thing you have to say.
I do? What? Oh, it's so much cooler than understand anything. What do I have to say? You never made that clear.
Flame
I
on.
think I did.
I don't have it written down here, so.
Either way.
Firelight.
Oh, okay.
Lake,
Fine, I
I
say
guess,
firelight.
has to cast Moonbeam on an empty square.
Well, okay, don't actually.
Just-
I mean,
Also magic.
yeah.
I mean, this is magic, but we can also cast.
Do you not have like a shitty little cantrip or something you can cast?
Prestidigitation.
Is-
There you go.
I mean,
we went over this last time.
I just indicate the temper.
Sort of give it a few waves through the air, maybe.
Yeah.
If only you could have her take her people form.
That's probably could make things worse.
yeah.
All right. The officer has flipped to a fresh sheet of paper. Seems to be writing down descriptions of your weapons, possibly you guys as well. Is that all right? All right. Now, where are the werewolves?
They're locked up
They'll
in
be
a
in the
car
carriage
behind
behind me.
us. You might not want to go in there until they're not werewolves.
Show me.
Okay, I lead him over. To,
I
I lead him and I point
absolutely
in.
make sure.
I point in the
I
window.
absolutely make
yeah.
sure that I go in first.
Is there a window
you-
like we can point in? Like we can.
It's a train car.
Okay.
There are tons of windows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like I
just-
just point
Just
in.
lead him outside around the train car.
Yeah. Like and I point in the window. I'm like, there you go.
Yeah, so you step out onto the platform, and well, you see that this guy isn't the first one to have found them, because all of the other officers seem to have just sort of clumped up against the sides of this carriage, and are just staring open-mouthed at the writhing wolf hybrids, hog-tied together, straining at their bonds,
Damn, I'm good.
just sort of snapping at the air in a mindless rage.
I'm
Question.
an artist.
Question. What could I assume would happen if I knocked one of those that were conscious out,
You
so
would
they
have
would
to.
revert back?
Yeah, you would. It would obviously happen again. You've still got at least half of the night left.
Okay.
Okay.
I go ahead and do that to show them as an example that these are actually people, but they've been
Cursed.
cursed.
First, yeah.
So
All
I
right,
just- I look
so you nonchalantly open one of the carriage doors that leads to the platform. So there appears to be no way to lock it at. In fact, like I said,
And good thing we talked them in.
yeah. And so you walk in and just sort of hold your fist up because you got them magic hands.
Yep.
And you just lean over one of them, just sort of dodging around the mouth, grabbing its neck, then just giving it the old karate chop to knock it out. At which point it slumps, relaxes, and transforms back into a half-naked woman who had burst out of her clothing during the transformation.
Can't believe what you've done, Grenache.
And you hear an audible "oh" coming from all of the police officers as this happens.
Yeah. So
Also,
those-
man, the fact that they're all tied up really makes this half-naked thing feel a bit weirder, doesn't it?
And I tell them, so yeah, there's still people in there, and my compatriot can help get rid of this affliction with them a couple of times, but it was gonna take a few
Okay.
days for us to get them all.
As he says, it will take me 3 days for these people to be cured.
Also,
and
Lily
there's
just
some in the other carriage. They will have to be taken care of as well.
Yeah,
Lily just
and
looks at
there
his
are
cups.
6 who were bitten, so that would be another 2 days.
Yeah.
Just Lily looks at the cops and she's like, "You see those amazing ropes, those amazing knots? They were tied by these babies." And she just raises her hands, wriggling her fingers.
All right. Well, the officer in charge continues to write furiously on his little notepad, flipping a few more pages just to fill in more descriptions of what's going on. And, write shorthand accounts of what you're stating. All right, and well, strangers, we would like you all to come back to the station with us, including all of these people, and the conductor,
I-
and the train staff. Everybody back to the station. I think that is a good idea right now.
I wouldn't move
Right
them
now, no.
until morning, but okay.
Yeah, I would wait until the sunrise. Then these people may be transported safely. doing so now would only endanger yourselves or the people around you.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if they feel like they can do it safely while they're in wolf form, I mean, I don't know.
Also, Lily. Just
I would
walks up
rather
to
not
the-
risk it. I point toward the corpses that are still in that other carriage. These people were slain by these ones when they were not restrained.
Yes.
I would not risk that
Yes,
upon
okay.
the populace.
Okay. Well,
Also, Lily just walks up to the chief officer and taps him on the leg, trying to get him to bend down so she can whisper in his ear.
all right. He does so.
Y'all might want to get some silver bullets, just in case.
Yes, they would. They said about the silver.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, you should definitely get some as fast as possible.
Anyway, so yeah, don't move them till morning. But yeah, that's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
The 6 in the other carriage, be careful about transporting them. They are injured, they will need support, and I will need to treat them afterwards. But these 9 in here, they have to stay at least until morning.
Hold on one second. Sorry, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I will inform the doctors and the shaman. We will need quite a few of both, I think.
As long as they know how to help them.
Also, with all that sorted, whoop-de-doo. Could you at all recommend maybe a place to stay for a bit, or somewhere where we could go to help us get the lay of the land?
Right now, you are coming to this station with us.
Yeah, that's fine.
Even if everything that man said is true, we still need to get everybody to say what they saw and write it all down. I do
Absolutely.
not know how it happens in your whatever it is you live in where you are from, but here we need to be thorough.
You know
No,
what?
I apologize for my companions. Some of them are not entirely civilized, but we will, of course, come along with you quite happily and tell you everything we can.
If I may have one objection, though. I do not think it's safe to leave these unguarded.
I don't think they're going to leave them
They're not
unguarded.
gonna
Yeah,
leave
they're,
them
they're gonna
unguarded.
post guards.
A couple of the do not worry. A couple of the police officers will come with me and with us, and all of the rest will stay here. This train is going nowhere.
Okay.
Very well, but once we are done, I expressly wish to return so they may try and help these people.
Well, worry about that when it happens.
We will get that all sorted out at the station.
Very well.
All right, and so you pile into a series of fairly large wagons. And once again, these are much more finely made than what you're used to. Like, a prince would consider this acceptable. It's not quite as decorated as it ought to be for someone of high station, but at the same time, it is extremely well made, with what appears to be the best materials available. And although the interior of the wagon is just simple wooden seats, they seem to be well sanded, well planed. And aside from that, you do also notice that the police aren't the only ones who have gathered around the station because of this event. There are quite a few passers-by, despite the hour, who have stopped to just sort of stare at the commotion, trying to get a good look, trying to see what's going on.
Are they likely to interfere?
Sorry, what?
I inquisitively ask if they are likely to interfere with what's going on.
Oh no, the police are maintaining a cordon, keeping a perimeter. making sure
Okay.
nobody jumps in and does something stupid.
We see them stretching
there's no
out
car.
weird yellow paper.
No, not quite. But they are maintaining. But they are maintaining a perimeter.
Just gonna wave at the passerby.
And since you are interested, Grenache, I'll let you roll a perception check.
Okay.
Hot damn.
You notice that there is actually this one particular clump of onlookers who seem a little more interested than the rest of them. Like, it's not just idle curiosity for them for some reason. All of them seem to have their own little notepads that they're all scribbling in, and they keep shouting questions at the nearest police officers as they walk by.
Ah, fucking newsies.
What of those people? They like to interfere.
Why are you so worried about this?
Do you want an outbreak of these things in this entire city?
No, but I trust them to handle it. Jeez.
All right,
You know,
are you?
clearly, these people have no idea what they're doing.
Were you asking the officer about this?
Sorry?
Were you addressing the officer with this question, or were you just sort of asking into the void?
No, I was addressing the officer.
Man, the press. That's the press. Ignore them.
The press?
It's
What the fuck's the press?
don't know how else to describe them. They are the press. Come on.
Okay.
Very well.
I'm betting with that
Yeah,
perception
okay.
check, Grunash notices like one's wearing really thick glasses and has a cowlick for some reason.
A little before
I can
his
even tell
time,
the
I
size of
think.
their shoe.
And then when we turn around, he's gone, but there's like a wizard flying in his place.
Look, I'm sure there's a turn of the century Superman. It's fine.
I mean, there was Batman. There was Gotham by Gaslight, so yeah, there's got to be a turn of the century Superman at some point.
So, the carriage takes you through the city streets, which all seem to be paved in cobblestones, which is again a sign of wealth, as far as you're concerned. It's the sort of thing that you would see in Okar, but the city doesn't seem to be nearly as big, or at least not as sprawling. And actually, now you are passing by the street lamps fairly regularly. So, if you're still curious, make a perception check.
Yeah, Lake is.
I will also roll perception because now I'm interested.
Uh,
My incredible perception.
Yes, your incredible perception.
we.
I'm not
Alright,
rolling, by the way.
Aurelia and Lake, you seem to sense maybe a little bit of flickering at some of the lights. But Lily, you're just sort of hypnotize yourself by staring at these flames. And then you realize that, yes, these are in fact flames. They're very small, but they are very bright, and they refuse to go out or to waver more than just the slightest bit.
Yeah, they're static. But I mean, unmoving.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen very many lamps that are able to be that consistent. That somehow these manage it with no visible fuel source.
Just look at whoever's heading up this carriage. Like, how do those work? I'm just pointing at the lantern.
Ah, those are the gas lamps. We installed them just 5 years ago. They make it much easier to chase the bad guys in the dark.
It sounds pretty bad for those bad guys.
Mm. Foggy didn't get rid of this fog.
Still, those are pretty neat. I wish we had them where I come from, but
But you're one of the bad guys where we come from.
I mean, no. Look, not my fault. They're cool. And once again, this place is already better than Okar because nobody's tried to blow themselves up yet.
Yeah, like we've been here half an hour and still nothing weird's happened. It's great.
All right. Well,
I
it
just
is
thought it
also
stays that way without cursing it.
it is also in the middle of the night, though.
You say that like weird
Doesn't
shit
stop
doesn't
Okar.
happen in the middle of the night in Okar.
Well, even supervillains need to sleep sometime. Anyway. So, you eventually draw up to what is presumably the station, whatever that's supposed to mean. Looks like a fairly regular building, at least compared to all of the others around you. They seem to be constructed very similar to how they were back in Silverton, although in this case they're made out of much finer materials, and they seem to be painted a wider variety of colors. You've clearly headed from the frontier deeper into civilization by heading east. And in front of the building, there's a fairly wide paved courtyard. And there are some police officers coming and going. Some discussing things in the dark. Some seem to be in a hurry, others not so much.
Sorry, quick question. Is red hair just chilling on the train still? Should I maybe tell the police about him?
Well, you think it's probably been long enough that they found him? Or her?
It's gonna be awkward.
I guess we're probably out of range at this point. Are we?
No, not necessarily.
For telepathic communication? Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna ask, what's up?
Master, they are staring at me.
Shit. Sorry, that's my bad. I kind of forgot to tell them about
They are
you.
gesturing as if they want me to come down. They seem to think I am some form of wild beast.
Shit. Okay. It might be best if you just take off. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Can you fend for yourself? Well, you know what? Actually, hold on. I can just dismiss him. That might be easier.
Yes, just the
Because I
magic
can just
disappearing
resummon him
griffin.
later. Okay, but actually, I think what's going to happen is, I'm just going to dismiss you. You'll go into whatever temporal realm you you'll do the thing. I don't know how you experience that. It's actually kind of spooky to think about. And then I'll just resummon you a bit later, because right now I don't have time to explain.
Very
Just
well. I
awkwardly
shall once
explaining.
again become a formless spirit of the Fae.
Right, that's how that works.
I appreciate you awkwardly trying to explain that you're gonna unsummon them.
Okay, I'll see you again soon, buddy. And she dismisses him.
Hangs up the phone.
And then she lets the police guy she's with know about. Hey, by the way, there's some of your people are kind of talking about how there was like this wild beast on top of the train that then suddenly disappeared. That's my bad. I should have mentioned that to you earlier. I just kind of forgot he was hanging out up there. That's my pet.
A lot of things are happening. It's understandable.
You you think you see his eyes twitch. See, just pulls out a fresh sheet of paper, writes things on, and just says, "We'll talk about this at the station."
Yes.
Lily is just eating this up from the look of exasperation on Aurelia's face to then her talking to the cop.
I wouldn't say she's exasperated right now. But yes, anyway. Yeah, sorry about that. Should have mentioned that earlier.
Kind of suck at this. It's to all of us.
Well, look, sometimes you forget that you have a pet griffin who's hanging out on a train.
To be
I
fair,
mean-
I think we all forgot.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
easy to forget things when you're assaulted by werewolves.
I mean, I haven't forgotten that I have a pet robot, but he's not here, so.
Right.
Okay, so you do enter the station. It's fairly well lit in the wide lobby area. You are, just to run through this quickly, you're taken out, you're taken to a holding area. Just, it's got a door, but they don't seem to lock it. And you are taken out one by one to describe what happened and what your part in it all was, and what you heard each other say, and what you heard the one wild tribesman say.
Oh, when he first confessed to doing the crime, I just punched him.
Yeah, they nod, they write it down, and eventually take you back to your holding cell. Or holding room. Should be specific here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And a few hours in, they wheel in this little cart. It's got some meals on it. And it appears to be some sort of gruel, some sort of grain mush. But it is surprisingly sweet. And once again, the kind of grain just seems to be a little bit off compared to what you're used to.
Oh, you're describing oatmeal. Okay, it took me a minute.
Yeah, it took you a second.
Yeah. Could also be cream of wheat, but no, it's pretty much oatmeal.
Yeah.
But yes, eventually, as dawn begins to break, and you have a window, so you are able to tell. Although it seems to be just sort of a lightening of the color of the fog, rather than any direct sunlight into your window. But it's at about that time that the door opens. You hear an officer say, "In here, sir." And in walks a fairly large man, more rounded than the sort of other people around here. It's hard to tell with the cut of the outfits being entirely different than what you're used to. Even the materials are strange, but it does seem more expensive. Maybe it's just how he wears it more than anything else. And yes, with a look of significance in himself, he takes in each of you clasps his hands together and says, "So, you are the strangers I have heard so much about."
Possibly. There is at least one other stranger that you may have heard about. He's the one who caused all this.
If so, he has not made the morning news in as many newspapers as you have. Oh, you should see these, in fact. And he opens up his outermost coat. He's got this sheaf of paper underneath it. It's rather remarkable. It's quite a lot of paper, and it is cheap as hell, too. No idea how they make that stuff. But he tosses it over at you. And apparently common means written languages as well, so you can read it.
Okay, I'll catch it. Might as well.
Straining my disbelief, but I will read it nonetheless.
At some point, I just have to throw up my hands, you know.
Yeah.
I do not want to spend that much time on this.
Yeah, it was enough dealing with the dwarves, I think.
And yeah, so there's in big print along the top, there's murder on the Western Express. Strange wolfmen appear. Curses. Experts say it is a curse of foreign origins. Foreigners.
Oh, cool. Experts. Oh, okay. Damn it.
Foreigners involved. And as you continue to read down into the article itself, you see a fairly accurate representation of what happened last night. It describes how a group of people, apparently unaware of their infection, turned into strange wolf creatures and massacred the crowd, only to be stopped in large part by the intervention of a group of foreigners.
Okay.
And it also goes into detail about how the mastermind behind the plot was almost giddy and all too happy to reveal all the details of his horrible plot.
Drama. Oh, no, that's right. The fucking wild guy. Okay, yeah. At least we're in
Definitely
the
not my
clear?
fault.
Question mark?
Yeah, conveniently he told all.
I'm surprised that they can tell these stories this fast.
Welcome to the miracle of the modern press.
And here I thought it was because gossip travels fast.
I mean, gossip does travel fast, but
it does too. It helps. The gossip travels through the papers these days, though. There were a group of reporters who were all very interested in what happened on that train. And the
so that's what those
police...
people standing around with.
Yes. I guess they do not have those where you are from?
Not really.
If at all.
That is a shame. It is good for the people to know what is going on in the world around them. I own a paper myself. That is how I know how good it is.
I mean, I don't think there's enough paper in the world to cover what happens day to day in Okar.
Yeah, man, like, there's some shit that goes down.
I'm sure it is as you say. But the paper pressers in our town would certainly give it a go.
Oh, they could fucking try.
But what interests me, the reason I have come here, is because I understand that you all have very powerful foreign magic.
True.
Yeah.
I
Fascinating.
feel like powerful is an overstatement.
Enough to help where we can, at least.
Fascinating. Well, it just so happens that I am in need of very powerful magic. And if it is foreign, it is even better, because the strangeness in town seems to be just as foreign.
That might be that other guy we talked about, but
yeah.
we'll see.
And here I was worried you'd ask me to tell your fortune.
I mean, there was a reason we traveled here, so this does seem to line up.
I mean, not really. We came here to. I'm not saying this in character. Like, not. It doesn't really line up. We came here to get metal. Unless this guy's going to pay us in the metal, I don't know how this lines up with our current quest.
Well, he might be able to pay us in the metal. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. And the reason we went this direction is because it's one of the places that needed help, because apparently there's chaos going all over the place. This was one of the places that was easiest to get to.
Anyway.
Yeah, you did hear rumors that bad stuff was happening in every direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Except north, but that's because that's where the coast is.
There's
So,
more problems with the fishbacks.
So, with him saying that, what do you say to him?
Well, I would prioritize helping those who have taken the curse, but after that,
that's going to take us a few days anyway.
Yeah.
During which we'll have a bunch of free time.
well, you will have a bunch of free time.
I mean, it takes you like 6 seconds per casting. You'll have a couple of free days.
You'll literally cast 3 spells and have the entire rest of the day. So I'm pretty sure you'll have just as much free time.
Oh no, you lose 18 whole seconds of free time compared to us.
I mean, I would like to keep an eye on them as well, to make sure that nothing untoward happens.
So, your foreign magic works that fast?
Some of it.
Yeah, some of it. Some others take
if you want me to make it rain, it does take like 10 minutes.
Really? You can make it rain wherever you go?
I can do it like once a day. And it does take about 10 minutes. And it only lasts... Well, I can make it last up to 8 hours, if that's what you want.
Huh. Oh, the shaman are going to be so upset when they hear that.
One of them already are, so that's no news to us.
Yeah, there's...
Yeah, well, we're not here to upstage the shamans or whatever.
Not here to please them either.
In fact, maybe we should tell you why we're here, because perhaps if we help you, you could help us. You see, we're there's a sort of metal that you guys have, and I'm blanking on if we actually know the name of it. Do we know?
We don't.
What it's called?
We know
Iron.
nothing about it except for iron.
It's just iron, but it's
Yes.
different iron, obviously.
Yeah, for some reason, iron from here is different.
Do we know that it's all iron from here?
It's a good guess.
We know what we've been told from visitors, basically.
So you have a sort of iron here, and I'm not certain whether it's all iron here or just some of it, but it's somewhat resistant. It has certain properties that make it resistant to a lot of our magic, and we need some of it, or more precisely, a lot of it.
Enough
So
to build
that's
a cage to contain somebody in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now you've said that, and that makes it sound weird. To be clear,
Listen,
we're fighting against an evil being, and we need a cage.
You're not really selling it well here. We need the metal. That's really what matters.
Yeah.
Yes. Had felt I needed to clarify because someone had burst out that we needed to build a cage for someone.
It's a rehabilitative cage.
Yes. Okay. Now you're making it weird again.
Listen, if we can get 6 sheets of 10 by 10 of iron, maybe up to maybe an inch thick, then that's all that we'll need.
Yes. That's what we're looking for, and we were told that we might be able to find it here.
No. If that's all you need, then I would be happy to buy the iron that you want.
Actually, there's another thing I might want to request personally. Teach me how to use a gun. I want a gun.
Okay. Well, that's
Hmm. For that I cannot help you. But I am sure that you will be able to find one to buy around here somewhere.
mhm.
There's a 3-day waiting period while they check your background.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Well, fortunately for Lily, I don't think her background would come up out here.
It wouldn't exist is the problem.
No extradition laws. You're home free.
Finally a gun.
But iron is not that expensive, and it would feel wrong of me just to give you that. Because the problem I have is very serious. But where are my manners? My name is Bobutu Pala. Greetings,
Got it.
strangers.
Hello.
Good to meet you. My name is Aurelia Tizafrani di Fiana.
Thank you. I was just literally about to ask you if you could paste that so I could put it in for my notes.
Princess of Viana, or Prince of Viana, as Bobbin has made it, I guess.
Princess is too loaded a term.
Okay,
It
that's
has to be gender neutral.
I suppose. I feel like, in a way, it's sexist to say that princess can't be a sovereign ruler, but all right. Yes, so that's that's who I am. I know you've never heard of Vienna, I'm sure. Well, maybe you have. I suppose you might have. Some of ships from your people do occasionally travel there, but
So this Vienna, that is your tribe?
It's sort of. We don't have the same sort of tribes that you do, but it's a city that I'm in
Oh.
charge of. So the people of
Oh.
Vienna are my people in the same sense that the people of one's tribe are their people, I suppose. It's a similar idea.
Okay, so you are from the Aurelia tribe,
No,
and
that's not quite. Aurelia is my first name.
that is very strange. Mobundu, that is my tribe. That is where I am from.
Ah, I see.
My given name is Pala.
Oh, okay.
All right. We do them in the other order. So for me, my name, my first name is Aurelia, and Ditzafarani is my family name. And Diviana is sort of, although it's much smaller than I
More
think
of a clan.
most tribes are. It's a very small group that's just the rulers of the city who have that name. And then Diviana is also part of my surname, but it's based on where I'm from.
You know
where
what? This is fascinating. I'm not going to lie. But we should do this conversation in a place that is more comfortable.
I agree.
Oh yeah, please.
all conversations should be as comfortable as possible.
And so I would like to invite you all to come to my estate in town.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, fuck it, why not?
The police have agreed that if I am responsible for you, that you can go freely through the city. And so I would ask that because what you do reflects on me right now, that you promise me, all of you, to be as peaceful and as open as you need to be while you are here.
I had no intentions of doing otherwise.
I won't be a shitheel, sure.
Got it.
Did Aurelia say anything?
Oh yes, of course. Where I come from, that would simply be assumed. Laws of hospitality.
All right. And Harvey just sort of gives a quiet nod of assent. And that is excellent. Ah, it is as though my problems were solved already.
Hey.
Come along. Get out of this rat trap. Go someplace where they serve you real food.
And just to be clear, the police are okay with this, right?
Yes, I have signed all of their papers.
Okay.
All right. Just checking.
My name is Lake, by the way. I think only really Aurelia introduced herself earlier, so...
Ah,
Yeah.
good to
We
meet
keep
you.
our names
Lake.
simple. I'm Grunash.
Good to meet you, Gronash. They call me Harvey. Oh, good to meet you, Harvey. And what about you, little one?
The name's Lily.
Good to meet you, Lily. And as he says each name, he holds out a hand.
Is this a gesture we're familiar with?
You know, you're all from different places. I want you to decide.
Okay, I guess this is between me and Torpo. Is shaking hands a thing in Okar?
I mean, it's definitely a thing in some places. I mean, there's a lot of different customs.
Yeah, I assume that if it's a place anywhere in the civilized world, Aurelia is probably familiar with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
we
mean,
would at least be familiar with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming that
Well, maybe not.
fucking hell. Why do you have to ruin what I was just gonna say? God damn it.
What now?
Because
Aurelia's trying
at some
to
point you
figure
deal
out-
with all
Oh.
sorts in Okar.
The history check took some time to show up on my end.
I was literally gonna say, because Aurelia spoke first, she would probably get the handshake first, so then we don't know what the hell to do.
I mean, I was rolling for fun. I still think Aurelia would probably know what a handshake is if it's a thing that is used anywhere. So, yeah.
Well, you take his hand and bow over it. He seems a little confused by that.
Well, that's how we do it in Viana.
Customs are a bit different, as it
Okay.
turns out. But by the time he gets around to Lily, it's fairly clear that when you stick out his hand, he is going to vigorously shake it up and down, and that's what you should expect.
Okay, but Lily matches him grip for grip.
Roll strength.
Exactly. I'm gonna fucking roll strength. I
Okay.
need to assert
Nat
dominance.
one. Close enough.
Like,
Yeah.
Like he lifts your
Unfortunately-
feet off when he shakes your.
Unfortunately, you went into this with a handicap, which is that this is a guy who shakes hands every single day of his life.
Grip strength like you wouldn't fucking
Sorry,
believe.
did he tell us what his title is? Is he like the mayor or something?
Actually, he hasn't mentioned that yet.
Okay, I'm assuming he's the mayor.
He did say that he owns a paper,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not entirely sure what that means. He apparently
I'm in
owns
the
one of
States.
these newspapers, but you're not sure what the implications of that are.
We're making a deal with Silvio Berlusconi. I'm calling
Oh
it right now.
no. I mean, he seems nicer than JJ, so, like, there's that going for us at least. Not demanding
Who?
pictures of Spider-Man.
Oh,
No, that's not JJ. That's JJJ.
Oh, excuse me, I forgot J. I'm used to saying JJ for Jameson and then JJJ for his son because his name is literally J. Jonah Jameson Jr.
wouldn't that be JJJJJ?
Yes, no.
Sorry, JJJJ.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's JJJ and then JJJJ.
God damn it! All right, and as you leave the police station, the sky is still getting lighter, although it's really still hard to tell what exactly the time is at this point. A young man runs out of the fog and up towards where you guys are walking over towards a proper carriage, one that would be exceptional even by Aurelia's standards. And slightly out of breath, he comes up and says, "Excuse me, you are the strangers in town, yes?
What of it?
I have brought a message for you."
Go on.
Congratulations, guys! I am amazed at what you did with those werewolves.
Oh, it's the drama
Yeah.
queen again. It's the drama bitch.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
What the fuck magic did he use on this dude?
Roll Arcana.
Yeah.
Part
I
of me wants to
can-
find a spot to hide.
No, -1, but hell with it.
No idea.
Yeah.
I might
Eh,
have.
Wizard
fuck with it.
bullshit.
I might have
Well-
some idea.
Well, the problem isn't that you have no idea. The problem is that you have too many ideas. It could be a whole number of things, including like vampire specialties. Maybe he's concealed, or maybe he's concealed again because the messenger here is wearing a hat.
That's what I was asking. Is there somewhere I could maybe sneak off to?
Well,
I want to steal his
you're
hat.
in fog, so technically everything is light obfuscation right now.
Fuck, you're right. I have Skulker.
Oh my god.
Stealth. Oh, fuck me. Really?
I only rolled a 4 and got a 17. Fuck me. Plus 13 bullshit.
Well, I mean, look, I just want to mage hand his hat away.
But yeah, it's just a nice touch with getting my Patsy there to confess everything. I mean, of course, I assumed he was going to take responsibility for at least part of it, but he was quite florid in his details, from what I understand.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Is this a conversation or is this like a recorded message? What's happening here?
well, if you want to respond with anything, you're free to do
Yeah.
so.
No, I'm saying that to him
Oh yeah.
to see if he
Right.
responds to it.
So, sorry, what exactly did you say?
Well, I said, is this a conversation or is this some kind of recorded message?
Oh, this is a conversation.
Oh,
as such,
okay.
I'm afraid I can't stay for very long.
You're a dink, by the way.
The sun, you know.
Sorry, he's like standing near us.
Yes, and yes to both questions.
Okay. Let's see. Sleight of hand.
Okay, guess
With
I'm
advantage or
gonna-
without? Actually, I think.
Roll it with advantage.
Oh, doesn't fucking
Well,
matter. But
yes,
okay,
it
I'll
does.
roll
You
it.
could roll. You could roll higher.
Okay, yeah, I'll roll it again for shits and giggles. Yeah, no, see,
Yeah.
my first roll was better. That's versus wisdom. To see if he detects the hand.
Yeah. versus
Wisdom perception, yeah.
This is- when you call him a dink, he just sort of smiles, and then the hat just sort of lifts off his head, and he looks up, and looks back down, and says, "Nice try, but this isn't me."
Shit.
I figured. I'm gonna look around the area, see if I can spot anything that looks like it.
Roll perception with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Yeah.
Light
fog.
obfuscation.
Yeah.
Fog
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, second roll was better.
Anyway, I'm gonna
All
try to
right.
do that too. Hold on a second.
I'll fucking roll perception at disadvantage too for laughs.
All right. Well, all of you take a look around, and this area is actually fairly busy now. There's a lot more officers coming in and out of the building. Looks like it's some sort of shift change, in fact. And aside from that, there's a lot of traffic going through the streets, a lot of carriages and carts of various descriptions, pedestrians coming out for the first time in the morning, going off to work, presumably. And none of them stand out to you. None of them appear to be some sort of evil vampire crouching in an alley, cackling to himself.
Okay, well,
Fucked up.
One day, creature, you will slip up,
Mm-hmm.
and I will find you.
And until then, I will be very fascinated to see what you'll do next. I mean, honestly, with the werewolves, what I would have done is I would have just killed them all and then jumped off the train while it was still moving.
Yeah, well, that's because you're lame and you have no imagination. So.
Oh, speaking of which, that is a nice ship you guys have. I don't believe I've ever seen that sort before. Is it new? Did you make it?
Just threw it together with toothpicks and bubblegum.
Yeah, we cobbled it together and made a wish on a star to make it fly.
No, which is a spell, you can't use that excuse.
All right, then. Don't tell me. That's fine, too. But do try and remain interesting. I will be fascinated to see what happens next. What just happened?
No, it was really good though.
you know what, buddy? Don't worry about it.
Who is that? Who is that talking out of my mouth?
Oh,
An
you were
asshole.
conscious for all that. That's
That sounds great.
Just a
listen,
giant
kid,
prick.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Some idiot who thinks he's a supervillain.
Yeah. Oh, look, we made it like 3 hours before Supervillain popped up. I think that's a record compared to Okar.
Yeah, wow, look at that. The best part is the villain's not even from around here.
I know.
Well, seems that this whole business is getting stranger and stranger. Come with me to my estate. We will talk all about it there.
Okie
And as
dokie.
you all climb into the padded, finely decorated carriage, and as the groom whips the horses into motion, the session ends.
Wait, I have one question before we go. I want to ask him, do y'all have tea? Do you guys do tea? Is that a thing here?
Nope.
Oh no!
This place sucks!
But they do have coffee.
ew.
It's not tea.
Well, actually, no. Really, probably like that. Okay. Completely unrelated question, Bobbin, but I did notice that we're only one level away, or at least for me, for getting another skill improve or stat improvement / feat. And I was just curious if, at some point, before or after this, Aurelia could like ask Harvey about what ritual spells he has in his spell book, because I just realized that there is a feat I could take that would let me have yet another pet.
Oh yeah, a familiar.
Yes, among other things, it would also let me like cast, identify, comprehend
but
languages, detect.
Although you
magic.
might not want familiar, you would make the pseudo dragon jealous if you actually managed to tame him. Plus, pseudo dragons make better familiars. Like, they don't have the limitless lives that a spell familiar does, but they do give you better benefits from befriending them.
Yes.
Oh, that's fair.
Yep. Anyway.
See,
good
I'm
night.
just gonna be better at shoot.